I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Father Time Network. I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Anthony, and on my platform, I talk about the importance of being a father. I'm here to make being a father cool again. But before I start, let's get into that intro. So today I want to talk a little bit about having a mentally challenged child. I got a homegirl who gave birth to a son with Down syndrome. And when she gave birth to this little boy, the father basically didn't want anything to do with the child. This was my homegirl. When we was teenagers or whatever, we kicked it. We used to do our little thing or whatever. But as we got older, we still kept in contact. That was my homie. You know what I'm saying? Still is. When I tell you she looks totally different, I mean, she's super duper skinny now. Like black marks, under her eyes because she don't really get no sleep. Like when you're dealing with a mentally challenged child, that it takes a lot. And she's doing it all by herself. I'm talking about this woman is no bigger than 5'6", 5'7". This is a chick that, she used to keep her hair done, used to be fly. I'm talking about, man, her hair was gelled down, and from her picking up her son, you could tell that she's sweating a lot. So the hair is sticking up, the gel is running down. It's like she totally lost herself. And I salute her for putting her all into the child. But this is why I spoke on this situation, because as a father, right? If a woman gives birth to your child and that child comes out with challenges, disabilities, hey man up and hang in there. You don't run away from the responsibility of taking care of your child because your child has a disability. Like, to me, that's a coward, man. I could never see myself running away from my child if my child was born with disabilities and then leaving a woman to take care of my child 24/7. It's so many men out here that are going through it, trying to be in their child's life. But you have men that soon as a challenge comes, they run and hide like women. Now, I know a lot of people may look at my channel and listen to me talk and say, oh man, that's easy for you to say. You ain't never dealt with a child with Down syndrome or disability. Guess what? I have. I worked with mentally challenged kids for 5 years. So don't talk to me about, I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know how hard it is dealing with mentally challenged kids, disabled kids. I've been there. I want to give you a story, right? Real quick. So one of my clients, right? And I don't even like to call them clients. I you know what I'm saying? Like, this was my little buddy, man. But this kid was 12 years old, almost 7 feet tall, and wore a size 16 shoe. His disability was overgrown syndrome, meaning his body just would not stop growing. I'm talking about, at times he used to walk with a cane. He had to have braces on his legs. Like, it was sad, man. You know what I'm saying? And nobody in his house could control him. No other counselors would hang in there. Women just would not survive. He had a female counselor. They was done within the same day. They was quitting. They calling the headquarters, I need another client. I can't. So when I came, it was like a sense of relief for his family. First day he tried to stab me. He had a long butcher knife, and he locked himself in the door and was like, "No, I'm not dealing with this guy." And he was basically trying to like stab. He had his arm out the door, but the door was closed. So the little opening, he had his arm through the opening, and he was like stabbing. "If you come in here, I'm going to stab you." And he had his grandma in the room too, trying to basically hold his grandma hostage. So, I haven't always worked with mentally challenged kids. I haven't always driven trucks. I come from the gutter. So I know a few things. So I grabbed some magazines, duct tape them around my arm, and I went straight in the room. Got the grandma out of there, locked the door with me and him in it, ripped the magazines off my arms, and I told him, if this is what it's going to be, then this is what it's going to be. But keep in mind, you only got one swing, and if you miss, I'm going to defend myself. I never forget the look in his eyes. He was like, and he gave me the knife. And me understanding my position, I took him down. I put my leg, behind him, swept him, took him down, and I put my hand like in a karate chop, and I put it to his neck. And I said, imagine if this was that knife. I said, one slice, your head would be off your shoulders. And he just looked at me like, oh shit, like this guy ain't fucking playing. And from there, man, we just had an excellent relationship. I used to take this guy to monster truck shows, to the gym, out to eat, to the movies, and no other person would do that. Not even his own family members. And the excitement that I used to see on his face, it was just rewarding to me. I'm going to give you a story. So he never would go swimming, right? It used to be a pool right across the street from his house, and they had one in the neighborhood. The pool in the neighborhood was probably 5.5 feet, deep. The one across the street was like 6 to 7 feet deep. So I said, man, it's hot outside. You always sitting in the house. Man, let's go outside. He's like, what can we do? I said, let's go to the pool. You like girls? You 12 going on 13. Let's go to the pool. He like, for real? I'm like, yeah, we out. So I didn't know he had his grandma ordering all this stuff. So on the day we were supposed to go to the pool, yo, he came out the house with flippers on. That the divers wear? He had the flippers on his feet. He had goggles on. Yo, he had goggles on. He had a snorkel. Now, keep in mind, this kid is almost 7 feet tall. The pool that we go into is only 5.5 feet deep. So he got the snorkel on. He got the floaties on his arm. And then he got the whole duck around his waist with the duck. Yo, when I seen him, I just couldn't stop laughing, man. It was just like mentally challenged kids, man, they just do things different. His heart was in the right place because he didn't know how to swim. He never went to a pool ever in his life. I'm the first person that took this kid to a pool. So I guess in his mindset, I'm not drowning. Whole time he could literally just walk in the water and be perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? So when we got to the pool, everybody was just staring at him. But when that kid jumped in that water, man, I just seen like him just light up. Like he never been to a pool. He had 2 little brothers, you know what I'm saying, that was, younger than him. I think BJ was like, I want to say he was like 7, maybe 6. And he just chasing his little brother around. They playing frisbee. Nobody has ever done that for that little kid, man. And that's one of the things that his family loved, about me, because I took him out. Like, I didn't judge this little kid by his disability. I looked at him as a kid. So I say that to say this. If you have a child with disabilities, Down syndrome, show that child, those kids deserve love too. Like, just because a child was born with a disability doesn't mean that child don't deserve love. You know what I'm saying? Because some of those kids, man, just because they do things different and you think by looking at them, they don't understand what's going on. But guess what? For me, working with mentally challenged kids and kids with disabilities for 5 years, those kids be knowing what's going on. They may move a little different. Their body language is different. But those kids be knowing what's going on. They're smarter than you think. So, to all the fathers, man, out there that, may have had a son and you like, man, I ain't gonna never be able to play football with my kid. I ain't gonna never be able to do this, that, and the third with my kid. Yes, you can, man. You can do it. You just have to be creative in how you do it and show those kids love, man. The child was born like that. You know what I'm saying? The child had no control over how they were born. So you shouldn't treat them no different. And if you have a child with a disability, Down syndrome, whatever, you're a real coward if you leave a woman to deal with all that. On my channel, I advocate for the fathers. But in situations like this, when fathers just totally walk away from the situation because the child, was born with a disability, you're a coward, man. You're not even a man. You're a coward. Children with disability deserve to have their mother and their father just like any other child. Don't treat your child with a disability any different than you would if they didn't have a disability. They deserve love too. And honestly, when you show those kids love, man, to me, it's a rewarding feeling to put a smile on those kids' faces and let them know that they can live life just like any other kid. You're looking at somebody that done been there. I know it's hard dealing with mentally challenged kids. Trust me. I got thousands of stories that I can give y'all when it comes to dealing with mentally challenged kids. But it's a rewarding feeling when you help those children understand that there's somebody out there that care for them. It's somebody out there that can look past the disability and still be there. Everybody needs somebody. So if your child has a disability, man, don't treat your child no different. Don't be distant. Man up, be a father, and hold it down. This is the Father Time Network, and I'm here to make being a father cool again.